Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome to the worst reviews ever with your boy Sophisticated Jerk and Amazing. Yeah, today we're gonna do a review on this I say rom-com or kind of like a drama, my Oxford years. So let me go ahead pull up these slides and we'll jump into it. So my Oxford year is a 2025 romantic comedy drama film directed by Ian Morris and written by Alison Burnett and Melissa Osborne, based on a novel of the same name by Julia Whelan, which was adapted from Burnett's original screenplay. So the plot on this is when Anna, an ambitious young American woman, sets out for Oxford University to fulfill a childhood dream, she has her life completely on track until she meets a charming and clever local who profoundly alters both of their lives. So, all right, the directors and producers. So, directed by Ian Morris or Lane, I hope. It written by Laura Quicksilver and George Berman. So, the cast on this movie: Sophia Carson as Anna de la Vega, and she's been in a lot of rom-coms I've been watching lately.
She is.
So I think she's trying to take over the whole rom-com niche. But Corey Milchrist as Jamie Davenport, Doug Ray Scott as William Davenport, Catherine McCormick as Antonia Davenport, Harry as Charlie Butler, I'm not about to mess up the last name, Hugh Coles as Ridley, Poppy Gilbert as Cecilia Knowles, and Barney Harris as Ian. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and play this trailer, and then we'll jump into the ratings on this one.
Welcome to the University of Oxford. Your time here is precious. Seize it.
We have a student all the way from
New York.
New York, New York. Welcome, welcome.
Flirting with the hot teacher on the first day?
No,
Oh no, I love it.
That is a serious bit of crumpet. Can I walk you on?
Well, I wouldn't want to drag you away from your harem of girls back there.
Wow. If harem girls are anything, it's patient. So, Anna, why did you choose Oxford?
We don't have this back home, this history. I just love being among those dusty old first editions.
If you have time, then there's something that I'd like to show you. I think it's quite special.
Behold the inner sanctum.
This is just fun, right?
Fun.
Fun.
So fun.
So fun.
I go back to New York soon. That was always the plan.
Poetry can be taught, but really, it should be tried. Allow it to change your life.
Word is you and Jamie are quite the item.
We're having fun.
Yes, that's what he's good at. But the question is, are you?
I have something I really need to discuss with you. We said we'd have fun, and we have.
Trust me, Anna, it's not worth the pain.
Don't waste the short time you have left in Oxford on me. There's no future here.
I don't understand. What isn't he telling me?
You don't need to try and fix my life. Some things are just broken.
I don't know what you're going through, but you don't have to do it alone. This is the messiness of life. These are the best bits. A succession of moments is really all we have. And I want mine to be with you.
God, that was a long trailer. They damn near played the whole movie. So, sorry, let me pull up the rating scale. So we'll go ahead and start with Casey Fred. What's your rating for this movie?
I gave it a 6.
All right, so Casey Fred gave it a 6, right in between average and good. Amazing.
I'll put it right at good 6.5.
All right, so Amazing got to that 6.5. I got this at a 4.9, man. decent territory. I gotta keep it a decent. So that's my rating. So who wants to go first? We'll toss it at Amazing first.
All right. So first of all, I really like Sophia Carson. And I do think like she has been in a lot of movies. I feel like she's kind of like that new generation of like Reese Witherspoon, Julia Roberts, like all like these actresses that were kind of started off in their younger years in rom-coms, and they had like a solid 15 years probably. And this is kind of like her beginning, where she'll probably be in lots more. I think her and Jamie's character, I thought they had really good chemistry together also, so I really liked that. I would definitely recommend this movie. The reason I did not give it a higher score, I believe this was also based off of a book, which I definitely also would not read. I like rom-coms that end happily. If it would have ended happily, and if the book, like this, literally right when I found out it was based off a book and I started, I think it said right at the beginning, but I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely going to read this book, until it got farther down. And then I was like, I'm absolutely 100% not going to read this book, because I feel like the book would probably be even sadder and more detailed. So that's why it was definitely good. I just am disappointed, which probably isn't fair for the movie, but I like rom-coms that even have drama but end happily. So that's how it ended up with that rating. Again, I would recommend it. I thought it was good. It just like, it was really a tearjerker, honestly. Plot and storyline, I loved all of the plot and storyline, as far as kind of how they Anna goes, and she kind of really goes to Oxford. Her stuff's already planned out. It's like she is just going to Oxford really for that experience. It's something she wants to do. She's a lover of books. So I like the way just like everything kind of goes together. Even I thought the movie did a good job at thinking, like I definitely thought Celia and Jamie were, probably an item specifically in the beginning, and how that all happened, and Jamie's kind of set off as this player right away. I mean, and then come to find out, Cecilia's like the heartbroken ex of his brother that dies of this genetic disease or cancer that he also has. It was good, but it was just too much for me. I don't like sad movies like that. And I like, even like going back to books, I feel like a lot of books, I feel like can kind of like engulf you in the story. And I'm like, who wants something like that just to be sad and cry on the couch? Golly. Scenes that stuck out to me, let's see, definitely the scene when she found out who Cecilia was. That was, that definitely stood out. I really thought this scene, it did give me, I mean, there was definitely parts of, it did have that comedy, the comedy pieces to it. It just, to me, kind of like the sadness took it over, where it's like, oh man, you couldn't even enjoy it as much afterwards, I felt like. I did think it was funny when Jamie takes, Anna home, and they're driving up and she's driving the car, and like, you obviously know he's probably wealthy, and then when they get to that house and she's like, this is your place, and you kind of already are expecting it, but she's like, what a hole. And I just thought that was so funny when then they turn the cameras and it's like this humongous castle. So I thought that was funny. Scenes that stuck out also, I think this scene, plenty of the scenes actually between Jamie and his father, and how the father struggled with Jamie not wanting to kind of push forward, and then just as a parent knowing like, gosh, that would be the most awful thing anyways, but then also to have it happen to your only child left living. It just those scenes stuck out to me. I thought all the characters had a really good relationship and chemistry between the whole group, even the friend group. I thought they really looked like a true friend group. Let's see. If I was a director, what would I change or do differently? I would have let Jamie live if it was me. I do like the end of the movie though, but again, it was also just very sad when it comes to the end and Jamie's kind of, I guess, last moments, and she's kind of, I guess, thinking of them doing all these things together, and then really it's her doing them by herself in almost like a memory or honoring. So that's it for me.
All right, I'll go ahead and go, but I'm going to do something. This is like a first in the worst reviews ever. I'm going to change my ranking before I talk. And let me go to the rating scale real quick. I got to go into bad territory, man. I got to give this a 3.9, man, because while you was talking amazing, there was like another underlining storyline. And I think the like sadness tried to hide this plot. And I think it was like bad messaging in this movie, man. So first of all, the movie should have been called Getting My Black Blown Out in Oxford.
I'm going to say, as soon as he started, I was like, I know exactly where he was going.
Nah, you're not going to, I'm going to get there. But yeah, she just got there like, I think it was like a week or so. And she had her whole life planned, and that shit got derailed by her like lacking of studying and all that. So it was about a big like hangout fest. So I think, like you said, the plot with him getting sick and stuff, I do think that was like a sad storyline. How the brothers, both had the genetic disease, and the dad, how he was dealing with that. But y'all ain't catch the part where her and her teacher having inappropriate relations, fraternization. So yeah, no. When I started thinking about the movie line, I was like, hold on, man. The teacher just all inappropriate, messing with the students. Nah. I had to drop the rating because of that. So would I recommend this movie to anybody? Yeah, I still think it was like a solid movie, but there was some covers up in the storyline that should have got exposed a little different. So overall, like I said, the part with the brothers and stuff, that was a good, decent storyline. I'll give the credit for that. But yeah, the student thing, that was definitely inappropriate. So that teacher was in there. He was just flirting with everybody and overstepping them boundaries, which kind of makes sense because, if he knew his life was like on the timeline, he was like, I don't care. I'm just going to, read his poetry and holler at females and stuff until he, him and her kind of like connected. I'm kind of a little different from Amazing, where I actually like these type of movies turning out a little sad. Because, I think too many of the movies, it always ends correct and stuff. Everybody's always happy, unrealistic in life. So I did kind of like the fact that this one went out sad. Everybody ain't get the happy ending. But the only, like, I'm going to drop down to if I was director of the movie, what would I do differently? I would have made her before he, actually, like, passed. Like, she just went back to America. Like, I'm going to take that accountant job in that finance firm, and I'll just write you, because I'm not gonna stick this. I don't see too many people like doing that in a short period of time, just sticking around. So I think that I would have made that like realistic adjustment, and she just bounced before it got too serious at the end. So I just don't think like people that know people in a short period of time. I think if you was with somebody a long time, you'll ride that out. But even when what's her name was kind of telling her like, hey man, it's going to have to get serious. When she went through that with her brother and stuff, I think, yeah, they should have like let her cut out at that point. But I understand they got to carry out the story, but it was just a little too unrealistic for somebody that knew somebody that short period of time. Like they just going to change their whole life plan. And then at the end, she became the instructor and stuff and just staying in that area. So yeah, I was just like, all right, that's just too like, unrealistic. All that stuff is gonna play out. Like even if she stayed and then went back home and got the job, like they should have did something like that versus like make her the literature teacher, with some cake and stuff, just following everything like they was married for like 20 years or something. It's like, damn, now they ain't even tied a knot. And then she just adjusted her whole life plan, left her family in New York and just stayed in Oxford because of a friend group that she known for like 5 months. So yeah, I had to drop it down. It was just a little too much. But I would go ahead and toss it to Casey Fred.
Oh man. Wow. Okay, so it's funny that you say that because you actually made some good points that
Made some excellent points. Please correct your terminology. No, I'm playing.
I may have to actually go down a little bit too, but
There you go.
to the end because at the end of the day, this movie started off slow. This movie started off real slow, and the character development was just crazy. And the plot twist was the simple fact, I will totally agree. You really thought that the reason why Jamie was keeping her at bay, Anna at bay, is because of Cecilia, not knowing that all of a sudden, you know, the reason why she's hanging out with Jamie is because one thing, when she sees Jamie, she still sees Eddie, her brother, who she was in a relationship that actually died from cancer. And now he has the same thing. And so it's just her going back through that whole process again. And then here comes Anna thinking that, you know, she's the other woman. And the reality, she wasn't at all. She's just the birth pains of something old that she has loved and lost. So I just thought that was really deep. One thing I did think that was really deep was most of the time you always deal with the mother and the daughter, but it was really the father that had the issues with the son, Jamie, and the simple fact that he lost one. And so when you lose a child, you start just gripping what's left over. And so that relationship was just, it was insane, and he didn't know how to reach him. And I thought that was probably one of the most impressive things, which I know I'm jumping to the scenes, but Anna on her own birthday gave the father and said, hey, I think I know how to reach him, and presenting him one of those cars for them to make. And before we know it, next thing you know, they're putting the car together. And it was something that not only that brought those two together, but then it had a memory of Eddie, because Eddie actually loved cars but when he was alive. And so it just brought that memory together, and they was able to just kind of like put those things aside, because the reality is, I have to agree with you, Jamie. I mean, have to agree with you, Jerk, that Jamie just knew he didn't have much time left. So at the end of the day, he wanted to go out on his own terms. And Anna was oblivious, because she was like, you know what? Even though I have a set appointment and my storyline is pretty much, you know, firm and on good foundation, I want to add to like Kool-Aid to what's going on with me. And he was like, no, it's not that kind of party. That's not the kind of love story we're going to have. And, you know, you don't even see these kind of movies on Lifetime anyway. So I understand why it was on Netflix. But it was just a bad turn going into a car wreck. And that's the reason why I couldn't even go any higher, because like on these kind of movies, you really see a happy ending. You don't see where all of a sudden it's just at the very end of the movie, it's just, let's talk about the things that we would do. And at the very end, you see her doing those things, but she's all by herself doing them because he has already passed. And then I have to agree with you also, Jerk, that there's no way, that was a very intense, short period of time that they was together. There's no way I would take that person's job, leave my whole life, which had been planned from the very beginning, and then all of a sudden just jump ship, and then I'm going to do this, and then bring a different cake compared to what he did and say, okay, let's talk about poetry and stuff like that. It's just, it didn't make any sense. And to be honest with you, you know, like you said, that might be something that you do in memory of, you know, if you had been with that person for many years, but not a short-term fling. You know what I mean? A short-term fling, usually, you know, you leave with flowers, or you get a little necklace with the little thing in it or something, or ashes or something. But man, not to take somebody else's job that they had, you know.
A fucking
Yeah, I
summer.
guess y'all don't believe in love at first sight, huh?
It's not that. This was live hot in the sheets at first sight. You know what I'm saying? And the reality is this. The reality is this. She was falling way harder for him than he was for her because he knew the truth and she didn't. And then when she found the truth, she was still conflicted because one thing, it was almost like she was mad at him, but how can you all of a sudden be mad at somebody when this was genetics? His brother had it before him, and now he has it. So I saw what the storyline and the plot was doing, but at the end of the day, this is not a 7, 8. I'm sorry to say, I don't even think this is 6. I'm about to get ready to go down here in a little bit at the end because
come on down.
at the end of the day, this is not the kind of movie that you just say, woohoo, I'm so glad I saw it. And I know I would not pay money. And I definitely didn't eat nachos on this movie for real, because for some strange reason, I just had a feeling this movie, just Oxford on the other side of the water. And I was like, yeah. And then when it started moving slow, I was like, woo, man, am I going to be able to stay awake for this movie? Because it did take a long time to build up the character development on this movie. But they finally got there. And then at the end of the day, you realize it wasn't exactly what you thought it was going to be, because I do agree with Jerk. You thought it was just going to be, okay, I'm over here. Let's see how many, people I can go through while I'm over here, and then I'll get back to my real job type of thing and keep it moving.
Clapping cheeks in Oxford.
This was definitely a love lost, and it was just, and then I was not expecting the end where all of a sudden she would stay. And I'm not for sure of any American that would stay, just to be honest with you. I mean, that just felt really weird to me. And I'm like thinking to myself, you treating his family like all of a sudden they were your family. Like this was the dude that you would have married or something like that. And that just lets me know that within those few months, she felt completely hard. But at the end of the day, she really thought that she could add him like Kool-Aid, to her life. And it just wasn't that kind of party. It wasn't that kind of mix. And you can't just add sugar and just think everything is going to be okay, which is what Lifetime movies usually do, and Happy Ever After. And it was not that at all. Would there be anything I would change? I would definitely would not have put him at stage 4. I would have put him let them be together for at least a few years. I mean, because it just felt like he got his life cut off. Like it was stage 4. That was it. It could be any moment. And even him, when they kept going to this one place, I forgot, it started with a K or something, and that was his favorite spot. He said, well, if this was my death row meal, this is it. And then he tried to cut it off with her right then and there. And you could tell she had fell for him because she would not cut it off. He said, hey, I thought we was just having fun here. Because at the end of the day, he knew his life was short. And yet she still didn't want to cut it off, because for her, this was her love. This was her love. And she was ready, no matter how small, how short it was, she wanted to see it all out to the end. And be honest with you, okay, that's cool. But man, that was a very short period of time for it to last. So I wish if I could have changed anything, I would at least, if we're going to go down death row, I would at least let that, last a little bit longer. At least hospice or something, but they didn't even give you that, man. One good love making, and then next thing you know, hey, this dude is out. Okay, that's what I'm saying? And that was the all she wrote type of thing, So I just, like I said, wow. Would I recommend this to anybody? I'm gonna be honest with you. I would not pay money for this, and I'm glad this is a Netflix movie, but this would not even be in my top 5 nor my top 10, to be honest with you. This is one of those movies where it's like, I'm not even sure I would let a depressed person see this movie because it just takes you down. It don't build you up. It doesn't like help you get over, you know. I mean, because if you already sad, it makes you more sadder. If you already have lost, it just opens that wound like you pulling off a band-aid or something, and you seeing that flesh all over again. I mean, this was rough. This was really rough. Yeah. So I mean, I hate to end it like this, but I mean, hey, let's just go back to where I was at when we changed our scores because I got
we'll jump into that. So what you want to go with your score, new score?
Oh man. Okay. So I was at a 6, and I'm gonna go all the way down to like, was it decent? I'm like between a 4 and a 4.2. Like, you know, like,
Damn, okay.
I don't think it was bad, but at the end of the day, it definitely wasn't good. And it definitely, I mean, there was a lot of missing moments and spots in this, and it didn't just really build you up. It just made you it's like somebody sucker punch you, and then you just don't know why they did it. And so yeah, I'm gonna leave it right there at a 4. That's what I'm gonna put.
Okay. So he's in between bad and decent. All right, amazing. You going up, down?
Go ahead. What?
I said you going up, down, or staying the same?
I'm gonna say the same. I'm also going to add. Again, I thought the movie was good. Just a couple final comments. What I do think that obviously, I don't know if either of you have ever heard the saying, it's better to have loved and lost than not loved at all. That was like the theme. I think they both loved each other. Jamie was crying, like, I don't want to do you like Celia. His heart was breaking. Her heart was breaking. And she followed her heart versus going the planned route. That was like the overarching message of the movie. Again, wasn't necessarily for me because I thought it was a little sad, but just wanted to put those final thoughts out there.
I mean, we knew that, you know, this was like a bootleg Notebook because, you know, they try to have the like rain scene. And
the Notebook, they spent their whole life together.
Exactly. So I'm saying, like, what Casey Fred said, it's like, it was just too rushed. Like, say even if they did it over like a whole school year, that would make sense.
Love and cancer is not on your guys' time.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, most people, like, I think, you know, because she was a nice girl, like, so I think they try to paint that like, hey, there is still like people that will stick around. But my thing is, like, if you just met somebody in that short period of time, you'll be like, damn, I could stick around. But as soon as that person would have been like, nah, man, I don't want nobody around, she would have been like, all right, that plane would have been in the sky. She would be like, is so-and-so okay? she would have been calling long distance. But yeah, nah, nobody would have stuck around in that short period of time. And just,
yes, they would have. It was a year she fell in love.
no.
Nobody would stick around afterwards. I got pushback too. Nobody would stick around afterwards.
Nah, not for something, you know, because that's like just putting everything on hold for just to watch somebody kind of go down that path. Like I said, if they was, I definitely think if somebody was married.
Okay. So let me give you this example. I'm gonna ask Fred because I ain't even a fool with you. Fred, say you and your lovely wife knew each other for 1 year. Would you have been like, peace out, girl? Or after a year, did you love her enough to say, you know what? I think I love you. I'm gonna stick around here. I think we all know why I didn't ask Drew.
Here's my thoughts. Nobody is dying, and nobody is taking somebody else's job, and nobody is sticking around over there in England. So my whole point of my thing is her life was
answer the question. Yay or nay?
I'm trying to tell you, nobody, it's not even the same situation. You're trying to like make it personal, but the reality of it is the way this movie was set up, this was not a Romeo and Juliet. This was a fling, literally. And the bottom line of it is it was a fling, but because she hasn't had one in who knows how long, let's remember that. And then all of a sudden she trips and falls for this guy, thinking and is under the assumption that he's going to live. And it's not until all of a sudden she realizes the truth that all of a sudden he's like, I thought we were supposed to just have fun. I'm not here to fall in love with you because at the end of the day, I don't have that kind of time.
No, they were both falling in love. All rom-coms start off as a fling. And the more they spend time with each other, that's like the basic 101 rom-com.
You're trying
I'm saying,
turn
like,
it into a Lifetime, but this was not even close to a
Look,
Lifetime.
Because even in the beginning scene,
listening to all this nonsense, I'm going up to a couple points. I don't remember that.
because even in the beginning scene, she saw like him hollering at another. Yeah, because even in the beginning scene, she saw him like interacting with other females and stuff. So for her to even jump into that, this movie was one long situationship. It wasn't no relationship.
You just made up that word, bro.
No, that's what they be calling it. It's one long situationship.
You two missed the point.
They went to a food truck. That was the best restaurant he took her. This was a situationship. He was like, "Look, we going to this food truck. We're gonna get some shawarma. Then I'm gonna commence the clapping again. That's it. That's all you were good enough for."
Yeah,
one long
like I
situation.
said, hey, I'm sorry. I can't see somebody just going and taking somebody else's job, especially
It's
after
not
a short
taking
period
the
of time.
job.
And then say, hey, everybody, I have some cake and let's talk about poetry. That's just, I mean, when her life was planned, she was so focused. That's why she came over there in the first place. And she was trying to add him like Kool-Aid, which is she already had her meal plan and she was basically trying to all of a sudden get something to drink. That was the whole purpose of going there in the first place. And so at the end of the day, she is drinking her little cherry Kool-Aid, and she's like, "Ooh, this really tastes good."
Got her a little fling and lost her marbles.
Hey.
I want to do poetry now. Oh my god.
That's what happens when love hits you hard. I guess
That's what happens when you get in a situationship. You lose your faculties when you get in a situationship. That's what this was. That's what this movie was, like a warning. Like, hey man, you go down this path, it's not going to end good for you. So they threw some like love stuff around there. Dude literally took her to a food truck. Think about it. The best. He's like, man, I'm gonna take you to the 5-star restaurant in Oxford. This place over here. I did like the scenery though. I like the Oxford. That does look like a cool place. So shout out to England. But yeah, this was one long situationship. She ate at a food truck. That was her like 5-star restaurant. And she fell in love over some like low level effort. My man put like no effort into the relationship. And she's like, I'm going to stay here and just give up my whole life to read poetry now in remembrance of this guy that took me to I don't even want to cuss, to a food truck. You know what message you guys are sending to women?
That's what happens. The love took over.
No, that was lust. Because you got to think about it. Even their friends started lusting. Because Anna said to the other guy, said, hey, so all it takes is for her to put on a dress. Now you're looking at her totally different. And then he started chasing her. Cecilia at the very end. Next thing you know, she was being influenced by Anna. And she started all of a sudden, well, I guess it's time to go ahead and get out there, girl. So then I got a date tonight. Can I double date with you?
That's another rom-com classic movie.
There better not be an Oxford 2 on this. I'm trying to
Nah, they better shut this down.
There's an Oxford 2 where she finds out she's pregnant and has the only grandchild to the couple.
I actually thought that was going to happen. Like, you know, at the end, like, oh my God, I'm staying. That would have made sense if she stayed because of the grandparents so they could have. But yeah, it was just too much. And
it's a boy, so they can carry out their family name.
No, see, they're gonna find out there was a third, illegitimate son out there, and she falls for him too. Oh boy. Yeah, this movie was.
Yeah.
No.
This was a terrible movie for females. I can't believe Amazing is pushing this message in. Ladies, this is about love. See, this is why people ended up in like these bad predicaments.
Oh,
That's why I was like, you know what? This is a terrible. I was like, man, she done messed with the teacher. He's all
You
inappropriate.
also called her a good girl. So what is it?
I'm saying like good in the fact, like, because a lot of people would, like I said, would have stayed in that short period of time. They definitely would have been concerned and been sad and shit, but most people would have definitely got their ass back on that plane and been like, shh, like, damn, man, that sucked. I really cared about that individual,
I
but
don't
hey,
think so.
I'm about to get on this eHarmony app. Go get some booze and I'm gonna cry a little bit. You know, I'm gonna cry, light a candle in his favor. But yeah, ain't nobody riding that out after no damn year. Yeah, that's a lot to ask for. And he's kind of even a dick to even mess with females. And he's like in stage 4, like Casey Fred said. Cause yeah, he was putting on a charm, taking her to that old ass library, in her smelling books. Can you just smell the pages?
Don't ever do that again.
Oh my God. You go to this one place. It's just a library in there. It's just, oh my God. So yeah, he was putting on the charm and stuff, knowing he about to check out. Kind of shit. Ladies, don't listen to Amazing and other. That's why guys be trying to tell y'all, like, don't get advice from other women. They're going to lead y'all down the wrong path. Jerk is looking out for y'all. Taking y'all to food trucks. Yeah, y'all got to demand more, ladies.
You take people to food trucks.
She was all excited. They over there eating shawarma and shit. Like, I like shawarma. Like, that would have, but yeah, that, I'd be like, Mom, you better take me to the Cheesecake Factory or something. Y'all ain't got no phone with a child over here. You got me at a food truck.
And then he's gonna go with the Cheesecake Factory.
Hey,
Yeah.
ain't that amazing. You're banned from Lifetime for at least a month.
I know, right? That's what should have happened. As soon as he took her to a food truck, like, what I look like some cheap chick? Like, y'all ain't got no steakhouse over here. Y'all ain't got no
I did think it was funny when she took the other guy to the food truck and then she told Jamie and he was like, "What? That's our place."
Yeah,
That's
that was our thing.
Yeah, but how many times had he been there? Probably 5 or 6 times before her. So let's just.
Oh
keep
yeah,
it-
yeah.
Okay? That was a flame, okay, and that's how he knew it. So he was trying to rack up numbers before he died, okay, and she saw it a totally different way. So
Because even the food.
Let's just keep
he
it
was
100.
the player that fell for it.
Nah, that's
You and me can't even keep a straight face, jerk. That's how funny this is. Okay?
yeah. Because even the truck driver, he even spotted him. You know, he was like, "Oh, you want the usual? You want the side chick special?" He was like, "Oh, you want the late night special?" You know. He's like, "Oh, you about to put in that work? You want the usual?" Because he gave him the head nod. He came up there. He was like, "Oh, I got you." He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna. This is a new joint.
Hey,
I got you."
And went to the same bench he been going for the last.
Same lame ass story. She fell for the whole storyline, and that's what this movie was about. It was like low effort love. He put no effort in, and he locked her in to Oxford.
Oh man.
So ladies, don't listen to Amazing and them. These fairy tales will have y'all lost. I'm gonna start making some love stories. I'm gonna start writing some stuff, and it's gonna have some bad endings.
I mean, there was no Snow White in this movie. Okay, let's just keep it 100. You know what I'm saying?
But shout out to Casey Fred for like recognizing that, and that's why I love these reviews, man. Because you know when somebody pulls out that true storyline, people be like, you know what, man, this is a terrible. So he pivoted. So shout out to you, Casey Fred, man, for like
you know what? I
not
gotta
going down
represent
Amazing's
for
path
Wally,
of like
bro.
nonsense.
I gotta represent for Wally. He ain't here right now. I think he would have said the same thing. So you know.
Yeah, I'm about to catch up and see what his take is on this movie. But all right, y'all, man, we'll go ahead and close this one out. Definitely check it out. Let us know what you think. And peace.